Yes, sir.
Yo,
You know them vibes.
totally unclear.
Totally unclear, baby. Usla Media, Tuesday morning. Back again.
Yes.
Coming to you live from my humble abode. Uncle Jervis out on location, coming live from his humble abode.
Yeah, the home studio.
Yeah, home studio. I'm comfortable though. I might get up and just grab me a snack right in the middle of the show.
Are you hungry?
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I might need to do that.
You on that COVID diet where you just eat
Mhm.
all day, sleep all day?
No, I'm not. No, I'm in COVID prison, bro. I'm treating it like a prison camp. I get up, work out, get my mind right, read the Bible. It's COVID prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta do something. But I don't want to spend too much time because we did a lot talk about that of COVID-19. But I do have to say one thing. I'm hearing a lot of talk out here from moms and dads about their kids. You know,
Right.
my kids being annoying, they're stressing me out. I don't understand why they're not listening. They're bored. Listen to me right now. Let me tell you something. If you are having problems with your kids, don't blame COVID. Don't blame COVID for your kids. Bro, listen, here's the deal. If you were a bad parent before COVID, you're a bad parent during COVID.
You going out like that on them?
Oh, yeah, I'm not even done. I'm just getting warmed up.
Okay.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, like, people don't pay attention to their kids. Let's be honest. And we have moms, we have dads, we have parents. Let me explain the difference. Anybody can be a mom and dad. As soon as your kid is born, you are automatically a mother and a father. But it takes effort to be a parent. Parents are actually raising your children, raising them with the morals and the values and all those things that you need to have a successful child. You can't do that if you're not focused on your kids. So don't blame COVID for the fact that you are a bad parent and you haven't been parenting your kids for the past 12 months. Of course, they're not going to start listening to you now because they weren't listening to you before we even started doing this in the first place.
Wow.
Like, what do you mean? Come on, man. Come on. It's not that difficult. Like, my kids have been complete angels through the entire process. You know why? Because Amber and I parent our kids 24/7, 365. We always have our kids as our focal point. That's why we pick up here with COVID. They're still all good, baby. Why? Because we take care of our children.
Good job, Amber.
Yeah. What? Oh, that's how you feel? And Marcus?
No, of course. I'm just saying. I'm saying good job, Amber.
Yeah. I mean, we have a firm grasp on our kids. And, you know, I want to give a little bit of advice to some parents out here because I see you're struggling out here. So I want to help you out. All right. So, number one, routine. Get your kids in a routine. Your kids can't, during the school day, your kids wake up 10:30 in the morning, scratching their balls, going to the refrigerator? No, of course not. They get up early in the morning. They go to school. Remember, parents, you're missing about 8 hours of activities for your kids throughout the day. Right. Kids need routine just like adults need routine. Only the difference is children can't say, I need routine. They don't know. So what they do, they act out. That's why you have to have a structure in place for them. You have to do it for them because they're not going to do it for themselves. If you allow them to lay around all day and watch Disney Plus, they're going to do that. But is that constructive for them? Absolutely not. They got to be on routine. I told my daughter right out the gate, right out the rip, we said, listen, we talked about everything was going on. I addressed her concerns. I said, we're going to treat this like a school day. You're still getting up at 7 in the morning. You're going to eat your breakfast. 8 o'clock, your school day starts. You're going to do schoolwork from 8 to 11. And then at nap time, you'll do some reading, whatever like that. When my son's taking a nap, we'll do reading, something like that. You're going to go outside at 3:30. And then after 3:30, after you're outside, it's your regular day when you're back home with us. That's when that starts. And you're going to do everything you've done before. So therefore, we're not missing a beat. We've covered the entire 8 hours.
Here's number recess? 2.
Huh? Oh, absolutely.
She gets recess? Okay.
Her and my son, we go out 3:30 every day outside, her and my son. I mean, one day she came up with the idea. She painted rocks, which is pretty cool. Her and my son was doing that. They did little arts and crafts, you know. Amber, that's especially loves arts and crafts. So they did some painting for the rooms. They did some cool portraits and stuff like that. So they've been doing that kind of stuff. But we got it online. We got taken care of. But number 2 is super important. Now, everyone's heard of social distancing, right? We've all heard of how important it is social distancing 6 feet apart. Well, guess what? When you're in tight quarters, you're going to need to practice family distancing also. Take the time at some point during the day to just separate. Go your separate ways. Have your kids be like, all right, guys, family distancing time. And they're going to go do their thing. You're going to do your thing. At least a half hour to an hour of complete quiet. So therefore, you can keep your sanity, they can keep their sanity, and then bring it all back together. Okay. See, isn't that nice? Is this difficult? Is this difficult, Travis?
No. COVID parenting skills by Marcus.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think this is really that difficult of a concept. You know what I mean? This is all stuff that to me is very, very simple. But
it's like anything else. It's having a routine or putting one in place because of this situation, and then following your routine every day.
Exactly. And again, like I said, if you're having trouble with your kids now, don't blame COVID for this. It's not COVID's fault. You can blame COVID for a lot of things. You blame for loss of wages. You can blame for people dying. You blame for, people getting sick. You can blame it for all these things. You can blame it for screwing up your routine. But one thing you can't blame it on is parenting. You can't blame it on that. That's your fault. Do a better job, parents. Come on. Pick it up.
Okay. A little harsh.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, cool. You think I was a little harsh on him?
I mean, just a little bit.
How would you deliver a message?
I mean, I would take a little of that stank off of it. That's all.
I don't think I had stank on it.
I mean, it could have been the same message without all that stank you put on it. That's all.
What stank did I put on it?
I mean, you know how you are sometimes, man. You know.
How? Please tell me, how am I sometimes?
You know how you are. You know how you are.
I thought I was doing a nice thing.
It was a good public service announcement you gave me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're, here's the deal.
Routine, like you said, it comes down to routine. If you don't have one in place, you put one in place. I mean, now parents aren't just parents. They're also teacher, math teacher, English teacher, gym teacher. Like, you know all these hats you're wearing.
I'm glad you said that, because that is true, but also is not true. Here's the deal. With my children, when it comes to their schoolwork, I tell them right out the gate, listen, if it's an absolute emergency, like kind of one of those like pull the glass in case of emergency where you stack glass down, I will help you. But I am not your go-to for your school. You were in school for 8 hours. I am not. I expect you to know what you're doing with your schoolwork 95% of the time. And if you don't, hold on, I'm going to get to that part. Don't come to me. Go to your teacher. Talk to them. They're the ones educating you. So if you have a question, you have a concern, you're with them for 8 hours a day, you should be talking to them and relaying that information to them, not to me. This is not, I graduated from school. Your mom graduated from school. We did that already. We're not going to school again. You're in school. So you need to take responsibility and accountability for your education. If you have a problem, you have a concern, take your rusty self up to the front of the classroom and find out how to solve that problem. Don't look at mom or dad to solve the problem for you, because we're here and you're lazy and you didn't take care of this in school.
But they're not in school now. They're home with mom and dad. So they're rusty.
They are home with mom and dad.
To mom and dad for some answers. Since mom and dad are teaching them their lessons.
And in the 5% where you might really you've gone into the problem. Because here's the thing. Let me get a sip of water real quick.
Oh Lord. These kids, man.
I got a little dry. Here's the thing.
These kids.
If you're in a situation where you really actually need help, I'm here to help you. But I want you to try your hardest to solve the problem you're first. And that means I want you to go through it once, twice, maybe 3 times, and then come to me. Don't just think because something is difficult, you need to come see me right away. That is important for these children to learn how to, vocabulary word, persevere. Perseverance is important. Resilience, important.
Dad, what is persevere? I can't come to you. Let me take my rusty ass to find my teacher.
Don't do that.
Come on, man.
Don't do that. That's not true. Man. That's not true. But like, because that's what kids do. Kids think, and also too, another reason why we do this is that you gotta look at it this way. School education has changed dramatically since we were in school. They do things a completely different way than we did. And my thing has always been this. I don't want to go against something your teacher's telling you, because I'm going to tell you to do it the way I know how to do it. The way I know how to solve a problem, it's probably going to be a lot different than the way your teacher knows how to solve a problem. So it makes much more sense to go see them and seek their counsel than to seek my counsel. Because then now I'm going to tell you to do things the way I do it. Then you're going to go take that to school, and they're going to say to you, no, that's not right. Because here's the thing also that drives me crazy about education today, is that back when we were in school, we had the opportunity to solve problems in a variety of ways.
Right.
They don't do that today. They want you to do it one way and their way. That's it. Especially when it comes to math. You solve it this way. This is how you do it. This is what it is. That's it. They don't give you any leeway, any wiggle room to solve problems in your own variety. Back in our day, it was, oh, how'd you figure it out? Oh, really? That's cool. That works for you? All right, awesome. Keep doing it that way. They don't do it that way anymore. Everything is cookie cutter. Everything is carbon copy. It's the same type of thing. So it's, it may seem harsh. And listen, parenting, that's the thing we forget as parents. That's the thing we forget about parenting. Parenting is not supposed to be, not supposed to be friendly. It's not supposed to be smooth. It's going to get rough. It's going to get rugged. It's going to seem harsh. It's going to seem abrasive. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to help you be a decent human being and send you out into society one day with a decent head on your shoulders. That's my job. So if if I come across harsh, if I come across, that way, if I come across, abrasive, because I care about my kids. I want the best for them. And I wish more parents took ownership of that, and they don't. Drives me crazy.
Your kid's gonna fail though. They're gonna fail at this. Your kid's gonna fail at this homeschooling. They're gonna fail, Marcus.
They cool. They cool. We got it on lock. It's great. Everyone's in a good. I can't complain. Like everyone's complaining about again the close quarters, something like that. Like we're thriving, man. We're thriving. We're doing great because we're a close knit family anyway. We close. We all love each other. We all love being around each other. So it's cool. Like we're actually doing really, really well. And honestly, this is going to be a real barometer check for families.
Oh yeah.
And
I had to break up a fight last night.
What? Hold on. Let me get to that in a second. But whoa. So if anything comes out of this of positive, when you come out of this and you're able to go back to your quote unquote normal lives, go back into it with if you struggle with this and your kids were struggling, if you're struggling with your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, you need to figure out a way to get closer. You got to figure it out, man, because it wasn't COVID that did this. It was the fact that during the rest of the time before COVID, you weren't doing the things you were supposed to be doing to have that close-knit unit. So, do that because it's important. Family's important, man. Family's the most important thing. Let's get to this fight. Let's get to this action. enough about that. What happened here? What is this about?
You know how it is in the family. I got the call that my son and my daughter, was having a little problem, little issue.
Oh, this is siblings. Okay.
Oh yeah. They was going at it. So I had to go over there, had to come to Jesus meeting with them. Like we all gonna sit down. We gonna hash this out right now. And at the end of this conversation, can we get
details what it's about?
It's sibling rivalry all the time. Yeah, this one get all the love. I don't get all the love. This one, everything done for this one and not for me, and blah blah blah. So it was that kind of stuff, and it just came down to I told him, at the end of this conversation, y'all gonna be good. Whether you like it or not, y'all gonna walk out of this conversation, and y'all gonna be good. You may not talk to each other for the next day or two after this. Right. Hopefully not. You might have a little animosity towards each other, but hopefully after this conversation, you'll have a better understanding of each other. And the thing is this, even as siblings, we don't talk. You don't talk to your brother, your sister, and really open up to them and let them know how you really feel or things they've done that may have affected you a certain way. And that's why you feel a certain way about them. Right. So we had to sit it down, chopped it up. There was a lot of screaming going on. Some tears rolled out. You know what I mean?
Oh, not tears.
Yeah, People was in their feelings and all this stuff. People got called out on some stuff.
Oh, wow. You had a whole A&E intervention right in the living room.
Oh, yeah. But at the end of it was good because when it was all said and done, it was like, all right. It was like, nah, I understand why you feel that way. I see it now.
That's
and
cool,
I understand some of the things that I've done would have made you feel that way.
That's cool.
So I understand that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I understand my part in that. So it was cool. Yeah, it was good.
I say this all the time. Sometimes in life, you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable again. Like people are afraid of uncomfortability and like going through that where you're saying some things that may hurt. Like again, going back to parenting real quick, the stuff you're right. I was coming across harsh and abrasive, and it's gonna hurt people's feelings. But just because it hurts your feelings doesn't mean it wasn't meant to be said. It doesn't mean I need to say that. It doesn't mean it wasn't right. It just means it hurts your feelings because it hit you in a spot. You know, like pride is pride is a dangerous thing. And I think a lot of people confuse anger. I learned this about 10 years ago. I love this. I say it all the time. Anger is a secondary emotion. Anger is driven. Therapist.
Okay.
A therapist, and it's seriously something that's helped. I used to have really bad anger issues, and like once I learned
that,
man, don't do that to me. I mean, I'm still working. I'm still a work in progress. Okay. But no, once I learned that, it was huge for my life because when I learned that anger was secondary emotion, it's like, okay, well, what's driving this anger? And it could be jealousy. It could be just straight pridefulness. It could be you're hurt. It could be a whole bunch of things. You're scared. You're confused. You don't feel smart. Like all sorts of different things can be driving this anger. But when you get to that primary emotion, you can address it. But if you let your anger drive, you're gonna lose because when you're angry, you just act out and you're not willing to listen. You're not being rational. So it's really cool. You guys had that moment. Look at us. COVID parents.
Yeah, man, we surviving in this.
COVID parents of the year. So I'm gonna move on real quick. So, are you familiar with the morning show, The Breakfast Club?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Breakfast Club, 105.1, Power 105.1 out of New York City. There are rumors that are swirling that Charlemagne. I'm not gonna call him Charlemagne. I ain't calling him no man God.
Okay.
Charlemagne is apparently, allegedly, rumors are that he's leaving the Breakfast Club and his contract's up in December. And I want to touch on this because I think it's interesting, and you're a perfect person to go through with this. I have a variety of questions through this. Everyone's not comfortable with with one person on the show being Michael. Every show has a Michael. You know what I mean? Every show has a Michael.
So let people know about the show. Who's on the show? Charlemagne. Who else is on the show?
We got Charlemagne. We got Angela Yee. We got DJ Envy. Right. So out of the three, Charlemagne is Michael. I think it's safe to say he's Michael of the show. He's the focal point. He's become the biggest star from the show.
Michael Jackson you're talking about.
Right. For those who don't know, I'm talking about Michael Jackson. And every show, any entertainment vessel, there's going to be a Michael. That's just how it goes. But it's like, are you comfortable with a person being Michael? Like, let's go back to Survivor, for instance. So Richard won your season you were on, right?
Yep.
But I can make an argument leaving that season, you were the biggest celebrity to come out of that show. I feel like you were the Michael of the show. Okay. Because I feel like at the end of the day, Richard won, but everybody left talking about you.
I mean, you know what? That's people's opinions. Honestly, at the end of the day, some people do feel that way. Others may not. Others may feel that there are other people that were the star of that show. But I'll tell you this: without Richard, there would be no show. You know, Richard is the key factor in that. And I say it all the time. If I won the show, it would have been cool. People like me, but the show would have been this big.
You didn't need to win a show.
The show went this big with Rich winning.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because everybody hated Rich. If somebody won...
Yeah, he was a villain, yeah.
Right. But if the hero won, the show would have been that big. Yeah, the hero won. It's cool. We like the hero. But the villain winning, the person you don't want to win, the person you hate, it was blowing people's mind that this arrogant a-hole won the show. They couldn't get over it. That's what pushed that show.
And maybe that's why, because he was such a villain, and maybe that's why he didn't get that same look after the show was over that you did. Maybe that's why, because he was a villain. But I definitely believe leaving that show, it was you, it was Susan, were the two most kind of talked about people coming out of that season. I mean, and maybe because you were so likable, and maybe that's why. But again, you were kind of Michael of that show. Was there any? But I gotta ask you this: was there any sort of jealousy or about the success that you were having post Survivor
with the other contestants?
Yeah.
Nah. You know what? That first season, I would say no, because everybody got some shine. Everybody was working. Like we all 16 of us were working. Sonya, the first one voted out, was there for 3 days. People may not remember her because she was the first one out. She was getting work. She was getting paid.
Wow.
Like it was because the show was that big. The show was that big that everybody was eating.
But you know what though? That's a super positive attitude because let's go back. Let's look at the Jacksons, for instance. The jealousy of that family surrounding Michael. And it's interesting to me because that's kind of what's happened to the Breakfast Club now, in my opinion. I feel like Charlemagne has become so big, he's kind of eclipsing the rest of the show. So It's at the point now where it's like, I can do my own thing and I'll be okay. Now, I think ultimately that show, in my opinion, made a mistake because they have built an entire show around interviews and celebrity interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, it's like I just feel, in my opinion, that it doesn't have the same type of impact as like maybe a Hot 97 like Ebro in the Morning.
Right.
In a sense that my sense is this: Ebro in the Morning built an entire brand from them. Like they don't do a lot of interviews.
Right.
So for the Breakfast Club, they rely on interviews. And in those interviews, the main star of the interviews was who? Charlemagne. Because Charlemagne was asking the controversial questions. He was the one that, you watch the interview, you watch it because, oh man, what's Charlemagne going to ask this guest? What's he going to say to this person? What's he going to say to that person? Well, that aspect is gone now if he does decide to leave. So now where's the show go? How does it survive?
I mean, you're still the Breakfast Club. You're still on the number one, you're on the number one show in the market. You just make adjustments like anything else. You bring somebody else in. You bring another Charlemagne in, in that sense sometimes.
I don't know if it's that easy. No. I'll quote your dude, Jay-Z. I heard MF was saying it made Hove. Made Hove say, okay, so make another Hove. That's a bar right there. That's a bar right there. And I'm telling you right now, Dame Dash has been trying probably for 20 years to make another Jay-Z. It's not that easy. People like that don't grow on trees. Charlemagne, don't get it twisted. Extremely talented. Great at what he does. Mm-hmm. And, he's from the Wendy Williams school. If you guys don't know, Wendy Williams is kind of his mentor. Came up on that show in the late 2000s and then parlayed that into this whole Breakfast Club lane. But he's super talented. You can't just replace like Michael. You don't play with Michael Jackson. Like, you can't do that. It's a difficult thing to do.
Without a doubt, it's a difficult thing to do. But a lot of times you switch it up. If you can't replace the person, then you can always change your format a little bit. You know what I mean? And then you go into something different. And here's the deal. If it's celebrities that are driving that show, at the end of the day, Charlemagne's a big piece of that, but it's the celebrities that they're bringing on. People are checking in to see the celebrities that they bring on.
But are you still coming up there if that's not the hot spot anymore like that? Because it's going to take, listen, for someone like, a more random person, but if you're like a bigger name, the Breakfast Club was like a place you went to kind of like spar a little bit and be like, I went to the Breakfast Club and held my own.
Right.
That was like that because Charlemagne was there. So if he decides to go a different direction, is that energy still going to be the same?
Well, listen, normally you have that no compete in your contract. So It might take him a minute to do something. So again, if you're the number one station in the market, people still going to come through because you're still the number one station in the market.
Well, he's already been, if you've watched him the way he's been moving the past 3 or 4 years, he's already been branching out. He has the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Andrew Schultz. Charlemagne.
He does books.
He does books. He has this show, not Pull Up, that's Joe Budden's. He has another one. I forget what he calls it, but he interviews celebrities one-on-one. He did that interview with Kanye about 3 or 4 years ago. So he's been doing a lot of his own thing. He's been a huge advocate for mental health in the past couple years also. So he's doing a lot of different things, a lot of different lanes. He's already kind of positioned himself to be okay by himself. So it'll be interesting to see going forward what happens and how that works out. I've always been a huge fan of the show because it's been wildly entertaining. So for me, being selfish, I hope the entertainment continues. But we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna get into the most talked about documentary probably in the past 15 years. It's Totally Unclear. It's Unclear Media. It's Marcus. It's Jervis. Tuesday morning. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Totally Unclear. It's Jervis. It's Marcus. So, the one I don't want to phrase. I don't want to say a positive because this is a really tough situation. But I will say the one entity that's benefiting and winning from COVID is Netflix.
No doubt.
Netflix right now is tap dancing like Bojangles. because right now, what else can you really do besides binge watch television and binge watch movies and binge watch series? We talked about last week at the end of the show a couple of things for the people to binge watch and get into, and it's been a huge opportunity if you're a binge watch person to just sit on your couch, get that popcorn out. Get your favorite drink and sit there and just veg out on television. And I don't know if this is just the perfect storm of you had to stay home. Netflix encourages binge watching. And when this documentary came out, but I actually mentioned this last week. Tiger King has become, I think it's safe to say, Tiger King has become a phenomenon. We're in phenomenon territory. Like this is the most talked about documentary I can remember in at least 10 years. And it might end up being, when it's all said and done, when the smoke clears, this might end up being the most talked about documentary of all time. I don't know, and you can maybe help me out if you can remember this. I don't know I remember talking about a documentary with sort of a wide range of people. Documentaries are something I've always been into. I've always been fascinated by them. I love learning. So I love the idea of information, and I like reality-based information, something that I know happened and took place. So I've always kind of been into them, and listen, there's a lot of people's in documentary. You go around your friends. It's oh hey, did you see that documentary? Oh no, check this out. But Tiger King is different. This is a different level of talk. For those of you that haven't seen it yet. I don't know where you've been or what you've been doing. You got really no excuse. You got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to be. Please go spend 6 hours on Tiger King. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Basically, the subplot of this is just it's supposed to be about animals. Let's start there. It's supposed to be about animals. It's supposed to be about tigers being endangered species, and these three places who keep track, who take care of tigers. It's not about that at all. It's not. That is not what it's about at all.
There's subplots upon subplots.
Yeah. It gets to some territories. Like we got attempted murder in there, allegedly. You know, we got embezzlement. We have a whole list of things happening. We got maybe some mob activities. It's a lot. It's a lot happening with tigers. We got polygamy. It's a lot. It's a lot to digest.
Yes.
And if you think I'm trying to be funny, I'm not. This is really the documentary. All these things are covered in the documentary. So
yes,
I'm just gonna ask you right off the bat, because you can only fall on one or two sides of this. You're either Team Joe or you're Team Carol. So I'm gonna start. So we're gonna go right to you. Are you Team Joe or are you Team Carol?
It's crazy. You know, look, I'm Team Joe. Carol fed her husband to the damn tigers, man. She fed her husband to the tigers, man. Yo, she stole the will. She stole the will, and she had the will redone for her favor. And everything to get 90% of his inheritance. She's a bad woman, man. She's a bad woman. It's crazy. I mean, everybody involved in this is so dirty and seedy, it makes your skin crawl.
It really does. It's an underworld I don't want to be involved in.
Everybody involved in this makes your skin crawl.
It's bad.
But there are some people that might be a little bit worse than others, as always. And I think Carol's at the top of the pile on that one.
I disagree. I am Team Carol.
Really?
And here's why I'm Team Carol. So you're right. Everybody in this, no one's hands are clean. Everybody needs to wash their hands COVID style. Just get in there and take a bath, a shower, whatever you need to do, cleanse yourself. And pray to whatever God you pray to, because you've done some really terrible things. But I will say this. Now listen, I want to preface the statement by saying, I'm going to talk about this strictly in the context of this show. I do not condone murder. I do not condone murder. I don't condone it. But here's why I look at it. So let's just say allegedly it's out there that Carol maybe killed her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That's out there. There's a lot of evidence supports that, and maybe you guys are right. Maybe she did do this. Okay, let's say she did. First of all, the way this man picked Carol up in the first place is shady. That story, by the way, what are you doing? He's like 55 years old. What are you doing picking up a random woman on the highway? And she was like 19 at the time, by the way, too. Bro,
was she even that old?
It was some creepy stuff, bro. It was creepy. So that's right away creep. And Carol, actually, by the way, Carol was a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she was
back in the day. Yeah, Carol was a looker. She's a looker. So he picks her up. That's strike one. So at that point, for me, what do you think? She's there for your looks? Of course, she's there for your money. Like you're like almost 60 years old already out the gate.
And prior to this, she was already married, right? Didn't she already get married early?
That's why I feel she's like 19 when she met him. Yeah, I think her parents.
I think her husband was 17, and the only way he got married, he got her parents' approval. She was like 15.
Right. It was parents' approval for her first marriage, and then she divorces at like 19, and then that's when she admits this guy on the side of the road. He picks her up, which, by the way, she resisted like 3 times. Until finally he wore her down and she got in the car. Different times back there in the 70s, different times. Okay. So finally she gets in the car. So we have that aspect of it, which is kind of creep stuff. And I look at this the same situation with Anna Nicole Smith. People get on Anna Nicole Smith for marrying this guy, but listen, at the end of the day, it was his decision, it was his choice, and you should know, by the way, if you want to look at her, that's cool, but it comes with a price. It's a price for that.
Murder is the price? I mean, murder's the price? That's a heavy price.
Listen, man. At the end of the day, you picked her. You chose her. All right? You did that. You brought all this on yourself. You should have left that all the way alone. Went and found yourself a nice senior citizen and settled down with your retirement. But no, you wanted a fastie, so this is what you get. This is what you get. Look at you. So anyway,
we can't look at him. We don't know where he is.
we haven't nobody looked at him since '97. Bro, that's some mafioso stuff. She made that man disappear, allegedly. So moving on to the next area. If you compare Carol's sins and Joe's sins, so maybe Carol, maybe allegedly, maybe she did that. Joe has committed embezzlement. Joe has committed fraud. Joe got his employees out here eating 3-year-old Walmart meat. Joe out here paying his employees 37 cents an hour. Joe out here with 3 18-year-old boys. Joe got too much, bro.
Straight boys.
Yeah, straight boys, bro. Joe got these boys all drugged up on all sorts of different activities. Joe out here doing the drugs himself. Joe out here smoking tigers. Joe's done a lot, bro. Joe has done a lot. So I can't sit here and listen, man. Joe on his live feed sat there, looked at the camera, turned his head to the right, took a gun, and shot this joint right in the face. Come on, bro.
It was a mannequin.
And you can't do that. You can't. Listen, man. Listen. The only reason why I didn't lock him up after that because he's white. If I did that, I would have heard, sir, we're gonna need you to come with me.
Listen.
Joe's
a bad man, without a doubt.
He's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
A terrible person.
But Joe ain't murdered nobody. we
don't
can
know
say
that. We don't know that.
As far as we do know. We don't know. There's no any assumptions of Joe murdering anybody.
I don't have any more fingers to get all the crimes that Joe has committed. I named like 13 things just now off the top of my head, and I'm sure I missed some more. Now, his biggest mistake, the Joe Rowe, and let's get the Joe Rowe, that guy's name? The other dude, the guy. So Joe Rowe gets involved. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Joe Rowe gets involved. And Joe Rowe decides that he's going to go into business with Joe Exotic. And we still have no idea where Joe gets all that money from. I'm still confused. No. I still don't know. But this man out here with 37 women, taking pictures here, threesomes, foursomes, sevensomes, ninesomes. That man, now Joe Exotic, you get in bed with him, and they all turn on you. Like, you can't blame anybody but yourself for that foolishness. And I do believe, by the way, that documentary, that reality show that's being worked on for him, I do believe he burned that footage. Because he knew he was going down off that footage. He's been sitting there telling himself for 3 straight years. Then all of a sudden he was like, oh, snap. Maybe I should just burn that footage. Maybe I should just go ahead and do that because they're going to take me down off the footage. Of course, dumbass. You're sitting here telling yourself. You snitched on yourself. Your employees out here on camera sipping through 3-year-old meat looking for food.
They liked it.
Bro, did you see their house? Because they don't know anything else. They're straight convicts. Straight ex-cons.
Yo, my man Joe.
But you get better food at commissary than you do in Joe's ranch.
The girl got her arm chewed off by the tiger.
Bro, and she's sitting there still riding. She's still riding.
Yo, he threw that EMT jacket real quick. Mm-hmm. Yo, they crazy.
They're crazy up there. They're doing entirely too much. Actually, it was funny. Real quick, Cardi B, I don't know if you saw this a couple days ago, said she was starting a GoFundMe account, a GoFundMe page to get Joe out of jail.
For real?
Yeah, but TMZ ran the story, but then she retracted and she was just joking. But that just goes to show you the level of where this is reaching. But again, I think a lot of it goes back to no one's got anything to do, and this came out at the exact perfect time. But again, this is why I'm Team Carol, because Joe's got too much going on, and everything that happened, he kind of brought on himself. Where Carol kind of like she got involved in this, but you picked her.
Listen,
you brought her into this,
and she could have gotten out of this. Carol didn't have to keep on doing this. Carol is having caged tigers too and other animals. Cal's charging people to see them and making a profit. Cal got all these people. Listen, Cal got all those people that work for her work for free. At least Joe pay them 37
No, they're
cents an
interns.
hour.
They're interns. They're interns.
They're working exactly. She got them working for free. Joe at least paying people 37 cents. She got them working for free, man. Come on, man. Cal got these people souped up.
They can put it down for a resume. They can put it down on a resume.
Cal,
what you can't put Joe down for a resume.
Anything. Cal had these people doing all kind of crazy murder stuff if she wanted to. She could just ask them and they all jump at her feet to do it.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Cal is just as influential and powerful as Joe. Plus, Carol got the money now to back her. So you know with that money what she could do.
I agree with you. I can make an argument she's more influential than Joe. Because Carol, I like the way Carol moves. Because Carol's strategic. She let Joe hang himself. She let Joe hang himself. That's why I love her. I rise to Carol. She let Joe hang himself. She let him do all this to himself. She sat back. She didn't do any crazy videos about Joe. You don't see her with no guns. You don't see her with nothing. She out here just killing him softly. Fuji style, 96.
She's an intelligent thug, and Joe
that's why I rock Carol. Joe's a hooligan. Yes, he's an absolute hooligan. He's a simpleton. A simpleton. He did this all to himself.
Yes.
Everything, he had a pocket.
Come on, man.
He was out of pocket the whole time.
But listen, man. She stole the will and then reworded the will. Allegedly stole the will. Well, we know she stole the will. She walked in there, stole the will. We know she stole the will. And then she reworded the will to say, with death and disappearance.
Yeah, no one does that. Yo, you see that lawyer?
That's a dummy.
That lawyer was stressed out when he said that. He said, I've never seen this in like 5 years. I've never seen that. I don't know what that means. I don't know. He was stressed out. By the way, who would hire him for anything? I'm not hiring that man at all. I walk in his office. Look at him, be like, no, absolutely not. We're out.
It's small town, man. It's small town USA, man.
I'm going to next town.
Yeah, that too, and that's the biggest dead giveaway, man. She made sure she put that perfect wording in there to cover her ass in case my husband disappeared. He's covered, and I can get that 90%.
Maybe, but listen, you know what? 23 years, and you haven't been caught. You're doing something right.
Well, they just reopened the case.
Is this a Hove line? Real killers move in silence. Hove. Real killers move in silence, bro. Throw the diamonds up. Carol's a real killer. She moves in silence. You ain't catching her. And Joe in jail sad because he's too loud.
They just reopened the case.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna find anything. They ain't gonna find anything. Because here's the thing: Joe wanted to be flashy. You wanted to wear them Catholic church window-looking shirts. You wanted to have your hair mismatched colored, sing your country songs. I love my Tigers. You want to do all of that stuff. You wanted to be a star. Guess what? Now you're behind in prison because you wanted to be a star. Carol back there just counting the money, silent. She being real quiet with it. Counting the money. People all going to Big Cat Rescue. She cool. She don't need to be a star. She does a little quiet videos. Hi, this is Carol from Big Cat Rescue. These are my tigers that I have today. Did you guys see the tigers?
These are the tigers I have in prison. Yeah, these are the tigers I have in cages.
You know the wildest thing? You know the wildest thing of this whole thing? Is that they were all mad at each other, all doing the same damn thing.
Yes.
The same damn thing. And you're all mad at each other for doing the same thing the other person's doing.
Yes.
What? Like, none of them tigers are safe. They all can talk. They all be out.
Listen, they said there are more tigers in cages than they got in captivity. I mean, in the wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
it's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you're supposed to be an advocate for this, Carol? Come on.
Right.
Stop it.
Stop putting Carol's name in your mouth like that. Don't talk spice about Carol.
Stop it. Come on,
Copac.
man. That chick is shady.
That's Copac.
She's like, I mean, how do you get rid of it? You could put some sardine oil on somebody's clothes, and the tiger would probably go wild over that stuff. Yeah. She got spies in Joe's camp. That's the thing.
I'm sure she do.
Bread. She got that bread.
Silence. She can do that.
I'm telling you, she got that bread.
But that's why from the beginning, I'm not messing with Carol. You don't mess with somebody that has more money to lose, more money, and they can just spend it, and get you. You don't mess with people like that. She bled Joe out for like 3-4 straight years. Took everything. Everything. She was petty with it. She's like, I want your 3-year-old Walmart meats too. I'm taking those too. You can't have those no more either. I'm taking all of it. She had trucks lined up, just taking everything from this man. She's like, no, I'm just going to beat you out of court.
What about the drug lord? The drug lord who they did Scarface off of was like the inspiration for Scarface.
Right.
It's like, this thing got some of everything.
It's layers to this. But here's the thing I don't understand. And maybe you can explain this to me. So the alleged hitman that was going to go down and kill Carol.
Right.
How is this man not in prison? How did that work? This man is on camera talking about I was going to go down there. I forgot.
Listen, that's what Joe was saying. He was on camera saying he went down there. He said he took the money, went down there, and then he changed his mind when he got down there.
I agree with that. But I agree with that. But I feel like you can't change your mind for murder. Like if you had it in your mind, like I'm going to go down there and kill somebody, you get the materials, you can't be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that no more. And the cops be like, oh, you're not going to do it no more? Cool, you can go. No, absolutely not.
Listen, he ain't kill nobody. He didn't kill nobody.
No, that should be attempted murder.
That should be an attempted murder. Oh, it is a threat?
No, bro.
What did he do? He didn't attempt it. He didn't attempt it.
If I even drive
he didn't attempt it. He left the state.
No, if I even drive halfway to commit murder, we don't know that.
Listen, he went down. He stopped at that gas station. He got some Slim Jims. He was like, "I'm gonna go to strip joint instead."
Wait, didn't he have drugs? But didn't he take the money though? He took the money.
Yeah, he took money.
He paid like $3,000 for it.
He didn't do nothing with it.
It don't matter. Strippers. You took the money.
No, bro. Strippers.
He took the money. We didn't take the money. Strippers. You agree. It's a verbal contract. That ain't right, man. And that man looked crazy. He looked like. Listen. And the way he described it, he said, "Oh, I'll snap her neck." What? On camera?
Yeah. Listen.
They out of pocket.
They cutting deals, man. They cutting deals to stay out of jail because they wanted Joe. If they can get Joe, Carol wanted them to get Joe.
And I totally believe that Joe Rowe was the brainchild behind that attempted murder. He's a brainchild. Joe Zog ain't come up with that. He ain't smart enough for that. He don't know about the bike trails.
Yeah, I tell you, that was his boy.
That's the only thing. I believe in the story that he was not in the sense of he knew about it, so he's a co-conspirator, I guess. But I don't think he was in on the planning of that attempted murder.
Right.
I don't believe that.
He said he was saying. He said Joe told him to take that $3,000 out the register and give it to him. Give it to my man now.
I believe it. But you know what though?
For the contract kill.
But you know what though? He was flossing. He was flossing too much. Like he's telling himself he was doing too much. Like he's out there. He making music. He got, like I said, these wages are out here crazy. These tigers looking crazy. They dug up tiger parts in his backyard. Like it's too much.
I mean, he admitted that.
He got bones here, bones there.
All that stuff. Yeah,
he was doing too much. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's my team Carol. I like Carol's style. Carol moves the way I like to move. She don't need to be flashy. She's go out here handling her business, keep moving. But honestly, one of the biggest creeps for me in that movie is Carol's new husband. He's a creep.
He in love.
He's a weirdo.
He's
a whole weirdo.
He in love.
He made every time he's on camera, he made me uncomfortable. I got a weird vibe every time I came on camera. But
every time.
So before we get out of here, I want to address another animal. It's kind of creeped me out a little bit. So the other day I was out. Listen, everyone's in the same boat. You can't really go anywhere. You can't really do anything. So the best case scenario is it's like prison. You go outside, you walk the yard. You gotta walk the yard, or you sit on your step and just chill, whatever. Like, bro, I was taking the kids over we have across the street from us, there's a park. And I wasn't going to the park because obviously that's super dangerous. But they have a basketball court up top. And nobody goes there. Nobody plays there at all. So I was taking the kids over there, and we go over and just walk to shoot hoops and play over there for like an hour and come home. So the last time we were there, there's about three teenagers playing at the other end.
Right.
So we're playing at one end, they're playing the other end. The next day I took them over there. They had put caution tape on the hoops, so we can't shoot no more. I was like, man. But I get it because I'm sure someone saw all of us there together and they're like, nah, we're shutting this down. It was just us three. They thought, like, oh, it was a family, no big deal. They came and ruined it for everything. So that's how serious it is. You really can't go anywhere.
You play them. Why you play them teenagers, man? Stop playing them teenagers, man. You play them teenagers. You said they ruined it. You said they ruined it for everything.
It was their fault. If they weren't there, we would have fine. It was their fault. The parents was like, get out the house. I don't care. Get out the house. I can't deal with this no more. Go find something to do. So I'm sitting on my step, listening to music, chilling. And I'm in the zone. You know, you gotta get a good vibe, a good song. You just in. I was actually listening to that the new Party Next Door Rihanna song, Believe It. If you haven't heard it yet, check it out. It's a bop. Definitely. It's definitely one of the best songs out right now. And I'm happy Party Next Door because my thing is the reason why they call him Party Next Door is because all the hits are next door. Because that man can never come up with any hits for himself. He always making hits for everybody else, but not himself. So finally he got one for him, which I'm happy for him for. So this song's fire. So I'm sitting there listening to that. Yo, I look to my left. Yo, I swear on everything that's holy, a squirrel's just chilling, looking at me like this. I said, when I yelled, it didn't move. And then it like Crip walked away from me like, bro, we have a contract with the squirrels. When I'm frightened and I'm upset, you're supposed to run away. You can't just stay there. Like, I don't know if COVID's produced ISIS squirrels. We got them ISIS squirrels now. They ain't scared of nothing. And listen, bro, the squirrel sat in the field. It literally just stared at me for a good 2 minutes like this.
Do you know why?
They said, do something. Do something.
Do you know why?
And I've heard stories, give 1 second. I've heard stories of squirrels jumping on people's backs now. Like, all sorts of crazy stuff. Yo, we got to come to an agreement. Maybe we need to renegotiate our contract. You know, sometimes the contract's up. Maybe the contract's up. We got to come back to the table, sit down, both sides, and negotiate. I don't know what's going on, but we got to figure this out. I can't have squirrels just chilling, staring at me like that. And so it made me uncomfortable.
Because you're in his spot. See, you usually go to work, go run some errands, and with family, and the squirrel out there chilling in his spot. Yeah. And all of a sudden, he see this big dude sitting in his spot, wondering like, what's this fool in my spot for? Like, and he's like, yo, bro, you gonna move? And you sit there like, he's like, yeah, man, you gonna move or what? No, you ain't gonna move.
That's too much.
All right, now
that's a wild animal.
I know what I got to do. I go get my boys. We're gonna come back. What? We're gonna see if you here tomorrow.
They gonna jump me now?
We're gonna see if you here tomorrow. That's what they're gonna do.
Now I'm standing on my ground going outside.
Listen, it's like people who have pets at home. You go to work all day. Now you're working from home. Your pet's like, yo, I can't even act up in this joint. I run around the house. I be in the bed, I be in the toilet, in the trash. You gotta go back to work.
Can't do nothing.
Pets is hating this right now. Everybody's pets
you remember back in the day, like when you were like, I don't know, like 12, 13 years old, you gotta stay home by yourself. And your mom and dad was like, yo, I'm gonna be home all day. You're like, oh, messed up everything. I was gonna be walking around this thing buck naked, watching cartoons, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Eating cereal in my bed, doing all
sitting in your dad's chair. You should be sitting in with the rope.
Yup. All sorts of crazy stuff. But no, we gotta figure this out, bro. I can't have squirrels just in my bro. This thing was a good 2 feet away from me, and when I screamed, it didn't move. It didn't flinch. It was a G squirrel.
You in his spot, bro. You in his zone, man. You in my place, bro. You need to go home.
I don't like it at all. I can't have that. I can't have that, bro. It was a lot for me. It was a lot to deal with. It was stressing me out.
It's terrible, man. Stay in the house, man. Stay in the house.
I mean, I might have to, but listen, we learned a lot today. And remember, parents, remember what I said. Take better care of your kids.
Yes.
It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this together.
Routine. Make a routine. Okay. Get that routine going.
Make sure we do that. All right. And Team Carol all the way.
She a killer,
that's
man.
it. Team Carol all the way. Maybe she is, but real G's move in silence.
She a killer. Yo, it's totally unclear. Marcus Jervis, we got Dylan on the boards in there taking care of us, man. We appreciate that, Dylan. Hooking this
Absolutely.
up.
Thanks, Dylan. I'm not coming to the studio no more.
Yeah, yes, you are, man.
I'm not
coming
back. I'm not doing it. I don't need to.
Marcus B tweeting.
I'm here.
I'm at Say Jerv. Yo, follow us on YouTube. Totally Unclear. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button for us. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram too. Totally Unclear. And then
we active on both those things now. We active. You see us posting.
Yeah. We about to grow this thing. We about to grow.
Absolutely. All right, until next week. I'm Marcus. He's Jervis. We out. Late.